Hello, my name is Clint, and welcome to the Everett's Academe. Here we're going to instruct you on how to utilize a capsulizer or capsule maker. This one was purchased off of Shopee. They're pretty standard. These ones with the springs are a little tricky to figure out what all the components are for, so we're going to show you a quick run through of how we put it together and some of the ways that you can utilize it. So this capsulizer was purchased as a size O or 0. There is a variety of sizes. I chose this one because the smaller capsules, rather than the OO, which are approximately 1 gram, or hold approximately 1 gram, were a little more expensive per gram that they'd hold, and I wanted to get the better value. And also some people find it a little difficult to swallow larger pills, so I thought that approximately half a gram capsules should work just fine for our purposes. And since I bought about 1 kilo of Tribulus terrestris powder, which is an herb, I figured I should be able to, with about 4,000 capsules, be able to do that and still have a few over 1,000 to spare. So you'll notice the spiky component on the top there, that you'd attach the handle onto, as we're doing here. And this will be used in place of my standard kind of manual technique of tamping down, which is just tapping the component with the powder in the capsules down onto a table, which will cause the powder to settle and condense. This, on the other hand, kind of forcibly compacts it down in, which you want to be careful with because you don't want to overpressure inside the capsules and cause them to crack. This specific device doesn't tend to have a lot of padding or any type of divot that the capsules ride into, so you do have to be a little careful about not putting too much pressure, because these are rather fragile capsules made out of gelatin. They also have tapioca starch options, cellulose options, so many different types of cellulose, it's hard to tell, but plain old gelatin, it's just like Jell-O. So here you have the spring-loaded component, which comes already pre-assembled, and then you had separated out the tops and the bottoms. You know, the capsules, the tops are the shorter but fatter component, and then the longer, skinnier component is the bottom. So you would array all the bottoms into that spring-loaded contraption there. Using that taller device, you can shuffle them in, and then see you can shuffle the tops, the fatter, short tops, into this component. And there's only one way they'll really settle into it, so you can figure out which way that is. And then, like the same way it was done with the longer, skinnier ends, you just pour them in. These are pre-separated. You have to separate the capsules yourself, and then you just shuffle them in. And you can work some in if they don't want to fall into the holes. You can do it manually too, and then just kind of tap them in there so that they're in there good and secure, because those will be flipped other way down onto the longer, skinnier components here, because the powder will rest in those, so you can't really flip those upside down without the powder falling out. So you can see here's a full array. You want to make sure that every one of the holes has its capsule portion in it, and these will, of course, be tapped down into those holes so you can see them visibly. But here we have the other component that kind of shields powders, keeps them from getting all over the place. I know this tray is not quite sized right, but it does its job slightly. I mean, you can hold this little scraper trowel however you see fit and just kind of work the powder in. And if you put too much in, not a problem. You can always shuffle it out. There is a little corner spot you can work the powder out. And then, like I said, you can tap it down, or you can use the prong tool to press some of the powder down. You don't need to have it totally cleaned off on top to work either tool or technique. But here you have a little bit more thorough of a scraping over, just to kind of get a clean, even distribution in the beginning. like I said, you can hold that tool however you see fit. Here it would be after you've compacted it down, you'd want a nice clean finish. So this is kind of just demonstrating what it'll look like before you go pressing on the tops. It'll also show you the other technique of tamping down with the tool. And you can get a little messy. Like I said, a larger tray will help prevent that. So just aligning the tops on. Oh, so then back to this, just real quick, to show that that's how you'd shuffle out the excess. So that you've got a little space to work with. And you can visually see kind of where the holes line up. The prongs there, pressing in just a little bit. Not so much as to crack the capsules, because they do rest on a solid surface underneath. And there we go. Kind of just made room for some more powder, condensed it in. And then working in the rest. And then again, wiping off any excess. So this is a bit of a backtrack just to show how that other tool will work. Or just tapping the entire device down to get the powder to settle in. And here we have the tops getting kind of mashed on. Spraying helps with that. Not pressing too hard, of course, but just enough to get the capsules to fasten together. Gently separating. And as you can see, once they're fully together, they're not super delicate. They can just be poured right out and organized however you see fit. They should be suitable to be swallowed at this point without cracking open in your mouth or down your esophagus. This is that tribulus terrestris I was talking about. It's good for maintaining testosterone levels. It is a steroidal saponin containing herb. For those who like the idea of muscle growth, don't like the idea of using unnatural things for such a purpose, with all of the health drawbacks in that. And so here we have it. And you can do these capsules in this maker 100 at a time, and some makers 50 and some 200. And you can put them into whatever receptacle you have. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.